we're explaining how to resolve ODBC connection issues, specifically the data source name not found, and no default driver specified errors. These errors usually mean your application can't find the database it's trying to connect to, because either the connection information is wrong or the necessary software isn't installed. Let's troubleshoot this step by step. 1. Verify the data source name, DSN. Double-check the DSN you're using in your application. Is it typed correctly? Case sensitivity matters. Go to your ODBC Data Source Administrator, search for it in your Windows search bar, and look in the System DSN, User DSN, or File DSN tabs, depending on how your DSN is configured, to see if the DSN exists and if the information is accurate. If it's not there, you need to create it. 2. Check the ODBC driver. Ensure the correct ODBC driver is installed for your database system, for example, MySQL, SQL Server, Oracle. You might need to download and install it from the database vendor's website. Once installed, you should see it listed in the ODBC Data Source Administrator's Drivers tab. The absence of the correct driver is a common cause of the no default driver specified error. 3. Create a system DSN. If your DSN isn't present, create a new system DSN through the ODBC Data Source Administrator. This will make the data source available to all users on the system. Select the correct driver for your database type. You will then be prompted for connection details like server name, database name, username, and password. Enter these details carefully and test the connection. 4. Check your connection string. If using a connection string directly in your application, make sure it's correctly formatted and contains the correct DSN name, server address, database name, username and password, and any other required parameters. A single typo can cause these errors. 5. Permissions and network connectivity. Verify that the user account your application is running under has the necessary permissions to access the database server. Also ensure network connectivity to the database server. A firewall might be blocking the connection. Temporarily disabling the firewall for testing purposes and re-enabling it afterwards can help determine this. 6. 32-bit versus 64-bit. Make sure your application and ODBC driver are compatible. If you're running a 64-bit application, you need a 64-bit ODBC driver. If you have both 32-bit and 64-bit drivers installed, ensure you're using the right one for your application. 7. Restart your computer, last resort. Sometimes a simple restart can resolve minor system glitches interfering with ODBC connections. After following these steps, try your application connection again. If you're still encountering problems, provide details about your database system, the application you're using, and the exact error messages you receive for more specific